Tutor Ayo, the enthusiastic tutor, and in today's tutorial, we're going to be taking our bearing from, English language in early years. Don't forget, this is all about literacy, in early years. Okay, so today we're going to be taking our bearing particularly from English language in early years. With this being said, let's go straight into it. So we have ECE 221. I think I need to switch the marker. ECE221. So we have, in Nigeria, the second language is English for most people. Okay, one of our courses we had last semester, we made it clear that English, language for Nigerians, is something we call L2. Okay, English language in Nigeria is something we call L2. Okay, and when we say L2, what are we talking about? L2 simply means any language that you speak that you are not a native of that language. You are referred to as an L2 speaker. While an L1 speaker is a native of that particular language. Okay, so basically English language might be a lingua franca in Nigeria, but it's actually L2. So now in Nigeria, the second language is English for most people. Now the origin of English language into Nigerian school curriculum, dates back to the introduction of Western formal education in Nigeria in mid-19th century, when the first primary school was established in Badagry. So the origin of English language in Nigerian school curriculum dates back to the introduction of what? Introduction of Western formal education. Introduction of Western formal education in Nigeria in mid-19th century. 19th century. The introduction of Western formal education in Nigeria in mid-19th century. Okay, when the first primary school was established in Badagry. Okay, first primary school, established in Badagry. Now, it was the missionaries that brought Western formal education to Nigeria, by the missionaries. So it was the missionaries that brought Western, formal education to Nigeria. It was a means to an end, but not an end itself. So schools were established to equip, like we all know, schools then were established to what? To equip the converts. Missionaries came to Nigeria, came to Africa to preach the good tidings, the people, and it was realized that these people that they are preaching to do not understand their language. Even when they convert some of them through good characters and act, they cannot read the Bible. And that is a big problem. So now schools have to be introduced, education, literacy have to be introduced, to the people, to equip the converts with skills of reading the Bible, singing hymns, and reciting the, and just to read and understand the Bible, and some things missionary does. Now, so we have that as that. English language thus occupied a prime position, okay, in school curriculum, and it became the Nigerian national language, which we call lingua franca, and the second language of most Nigeria. All right. So basically, this was the first language, all right, by foreigners, and basically, it gained a lot of ground, and it became Nigerian national language or lingua franca, and the second language of most Nigeria. So now, so we have that as that. So in this time, all right, during this era, okay, there was urgent need to equip and convert, all right, to equip converts to Christianity with communication skill, all right, in English for evangelism purpose. Okay, you wonder why English language was introduced, like I made mention earlier, during this era, okay, when the missionaries came, during this era, there was need to equip converts to Christianity with communication skills in English, all right, for evangelism purpose. Now, English thus became the official language of administration and commerce, all right. Became the official language for admin and commerce. Okay, it became the official language for admin and commerce. Currently in Nigeria, English is one of the most important school subjects. All right, it is a core subject both at the primary, the pre-primary and the primary level of education. Now, we have that as that. Okay, there's something called National Language Policy. All right? National Language Policy. National Language Policy. Now, this policy holds that the federal government's policy on education stipulates that the medium of instruction will be primarily, okay, the mother tongue language. Medium of instruction will be primarily, okay, will be principally or primarily the mother tongue. Let me use what will be principally. Principally the mother tongue, which is our L1. Okay? The mother tongue on the language of the immediate environment for the first few years of primary school. Alright? Mother tongue or immediate, alright? Alright? Or the language of the immediate, or the language of the immediate environment. Okay? Immediate environment for the first few years. For the first few years of primary school. Primary school. Now, it is necessary that the initial medium of teaching a child is his mother tongue. But is that what we have now? Okay? If not for some homes that still insist on speaking in their mother tongue, communicating in their mother tongue. Not all homes does that. All right. Basically, now the curriculum in schools these days don't even encourage, be it whatsoever level, do not encourage the using of mother tongue as a medium of instructions. All right. Even in some homes, some mothers, all right, sees it as unnecessary. All right. So from the very tender age of the child, they start speaking English, all right, to the child, okay, instead of using the mother tongue. So basically, but according to the national language policy, this is what it holds, okay, that the federal government policy on education stipulates that the medium of instruction will be principally the mother tongue, which is L1, and that's why you see some other countries like Portuguese, Argentina, all right, you see they are great men, footballers. They don't speak English like that. They get to learn English when they come to Europe or England for business purpose. But in their own hometown, they speak their mother tongue. All right, countries like Germany, all right, they encourage the English is only necessary for business and for transaction purposes. Maybe the person you are talking to does not understand your language, your mother tongue, because repeat it again, I do not understand. Okay, what exactly is it you don't understand, please? Can you help? Do you mean the national language policy? What exactly is it? Can you please specify? Can you write that out, please? Mr. I, right? Mr. Aisha, right? Mr. or Mrs. or Miss Mishra. Please help identify what exactly you don't understand. Okay? But what I'm trying to say here is that in Nigeria, the NLP, that is the national language policy. Are we together? Okay. Did you get that now? Okay, so we have that as that. The national language policy. Yes, national language policy is the medium, okay, according to the federal government policy. Okay, speaking of Nigeria now, according to the federal government policy, okay, and I believe it should be so, all right, at least of some countries. I don't know of all countries, but I believe all countries have this policy on education, okay, and that is if they don't use their L1 all through as a medium of education, okay. But in Nigeria precisely, the national language policy holds that the federal government on education stipulates that the medium, okay, that the medium of instruction will be principally, okay, according to educational standard here in Nigeria, and I believe it's so in other countries too, okay, though I stand to be corrected, but basically is that the very first few years of a child, all right, a child should be spoken to, instructed, educated in his or her mother tongue. So now it says that the medium of instruction will be principally the mother tongue, or the what we call language of immediate environment, for the first few years of primary, all right, for the first few years of primary school. Okay, did you get that now? Are we on the same page now? Okay. Very well then. Very well then. Let's continue. So now, sociologically, it means to identify, all right, sociologically, this means is what? Is a means of identification among members of community which the child belongs to. All right. In a country we have different societies, different ethnic groups. Okay. By insisting on this kind of policies, by working on this kind of policy, a child will stand out. All right. A child will stand out, and the environment that produces that child will be noticed. All right. Even as the child, in the child's behavior and disposition. Okay. And it is seen according to UNESCO in 1953. So we have UNESCO according to UNESCO in 1953. It says here, educationally, a child learns more quickly through it than an unfamiliar language. All right. Educationally, a child learns quickly through his L1. A child learns quickly through it is the L1. All right. Than through an unfamiliar, all right, language. So we have that as that. Please, let's take note of this abbreviation. Okay, it says NERDC. NERDC. Okay, NERDC is an acronym for Nigerian Educational Research and Development. Education and Research Development. Nigerian Education and Research Development. So we have that as that. Now, with this being said, let's move straight to let's move on to what we call theory. All right, what theories are and how they have been proven useful in language development in early stage of a child's life. Okay, early stages. Now, what is a theory? All right, when we say theory is a systematic attempt, okay, a systematic attempt to organize and interpret observation. Attempt to organize and interpret, okay, organize and interpret observation. Okay, now a theory is best judged not in terms of accuracy and truthfulness, but in terms of how well it reflects the facts. how consistent it is and how useful it is for explaining observation or observed phenomenon. Okay? It says how well it reflects facts. How well facts are reflected. Alright? Theory. Also, we have how consistent its consistency. Okay, its consistency and usefulness for expanding. Usefulness, okay, for expanding observed phenomenon. Observed phenomenon. Okay? Observed phenomenon and predicting future. Okay? Predicting future phenomenon. Okay. So you see, that's it. We have it on phenomenon, on theory. Okay. Observationist. All right. Now, behaviorist. Let's speak of different theories now. But I believe you have it on this. A theory is a systematic attempt to organize and interpret, all right, observations. So it's not about how correct or how accurate or how truthful. It's not about how accurate or how truthful it is, but it is about how well facts are reflected, how consistent is the theory, how useful it is, all right, for expanding observed phenomenon, and how effective it is at predicting future phenomenon. Okay, so we have the behaviorist theory. Okay, the behaviorist theory tries to explain simple behaviors that are observable and predict, all right, that are observable and predictable responses. Okay, explain simple behavior. Explain simple behaviors that are observable, and predictable. All right, predictable. Predictable responses. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, this behaviorist theory is mainly concerned with conditions called stimuli. Mainly concerned with conditions called stimuli. All right, conditions called stimuli, and these stimuli affect organisms, which lead to modified behavior called responses. Affect organism. Okay, affect organisms. All right, these organisms lead to what? Lead to what we call modified behavior. Lead to what we call modified behavior. All right, and this behavior leads to what we call behaviors. Okay, leads to what we call responses. So we have that as that. Now, so for this reason, behaviorist theory is often referred to as stimulus response. All right, stimulus response, SR, stimulus response. Okay, so BT, that's behavior theorist, by definition, all right, concerned with behavior. All right, according to its name, behaviorist, they are concerned with behavior. So we have, it says here that when reinforcement or reward comes in any form of encouragement, it leads to the formation of behavior or habits. Okay, it says when reinforcement or reward comes in form of encouragement, reinforcement or reward comes as encouragement, okay, it leads to formation, all right, formation of what we call habits or behavior. Habits or behavior. Okay, so when reinforcement or reward is used as a means of encouragement, all right, this leads to the formation of habits or behavior. Okay, according to the behaviorist theory. So now, the behaviorist theory, let's see behaviorist theory view on language acquisition. Now, according to Schema, all right, is credited to this work. Schema expressed his view on language, all right, language learning in his book titled Verbal Behavior. All right, so I have verbal behavior in 1957, all right, by B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner. Okay, B.F. Skinner, okay, expressed his view of language learning in his book. Now, this book contains the seed of his language learning theory. Okay, according to him, many human behavior or responses, including language, are reactions of stimuli. According to him, okay, many human behaviors or responses, including, all right, language, are reactions to stimuli. Now, he propounded that the rate of producing a particular reaction or response can be increased if it is immediately followed up by reinforcement or reward stimulus or reward stimulus. Okay, so we have that as that. He says learners learn language structures to a point of automatic response to a language stimulus. All right, So we have that as that. So for today, we'll call it wrap here. Please, if you are yet to become a member of the private class, you are missing a lot. Okay? Please do not hesitate to reach out to me so I can add you up. Alright? The resource we use in taking classes are my personal notes extracted from the materials strategically. Alright? And it's a gold mine for your examinations. Alright, as a member of the private class, you get this for free. It's part of the package. Alright, so please, if you're yet to become a member, you are missing out a lot. Do well to reach out to me today on the website www.tutorayo.com. The link is in the description of this video, or you can just go to Google and do www.tutorayo.com, and on the website you see the WhatsApp icon. Click on it, it takes you directly to my DM. Always willing and happy to be of help. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll call it a wrap on these notes, and I will be seeing you in subsequent tutorials. You have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.